In this short video tutorial, I'm intending to clarify a few things about this feature that is called seeding, and it's very common used in Abacus, for example, Abacus program, for example. Although some versions of that are available in the 3D experience, but it's not clearly explained in the manual. So I would like to do that in the context of a simple example. Okay. So first of all, this presentation that I'm going to make applies to partition hex mesh. Okay. So I'm not referring to some of the other features that you have, such as sweep meshing or tetrahedral meshing, for example. Now, uh, in order to explain that, I'll make a very simple model, namely a shoebox, a box like that, okay? And then I'll show you how it's going to get meshed when we do the partition hex meshing feature. It's going to be very straightforward. And then show you that when you change the seating, whatever that thing is, uh, it is going to get overridden by that seating option. Okay, so this I got it from doing a Google search, and it says that seating overrides basically the element size. There are some other slides, and I'm going to come to them later on, but for now, I'm going to leave it the way it is. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead to 3D Experience, make a very simple shoebox. We'll start with the part file, and on that vertical plane, I will sketch a rectangle that is 50 by 100, 50 by 100, something like that. Doesn't matter where it is. So this is going to be 100 millimeter, and this is going to be 50. Okay, exit, and then pad it by 20 millimeters. Okay, that's good. So there's my shoebox. Okay, these planes I'm going to hide them because they're unnecessary. Okay, let's not worry about material properties because I'm not going to be running anything. I'm just going to be creating the mesh. So what I'm going to do is I will go to uh, structural model creation where the meshing is done, empty FEM. Okay, so look under the meshing. Here's the meshing tab. And here is some of the non-obvious partition hex mesh, partition hex mesh. So partition hex mesh, this thing pops up, and I'm going to put down size 50 millimeter. Remember, this length is 100, this height is 50, and the depth is 20. So when I mesh this thing, there's going to be only two elements, okay? So let me mesh it. Well, obviously the support is this part. It turns green, and that green means that it is going to be volume with minimized mesh transition and non-sweep, okay? So essentially this is perfect for shoebox element types, okay? So this popped up, I put a 50 millimeter, and let me do that. And then I say mesh it, and you're going to get two elements, okay? Two elements. Now, obviously, I can go here and change the mesh size. So for example, if I make it, let's make it 10 mesh. There's going to be 10 this way, 2 this way, and 5 in the length direction. Let me undo this thing, put it back where it was. There we are. Okay. So what I'm going to do is double click on this partition hex mesh. This pops up. I'm going to click on this edit. See that? There's an edit box here. I'm going to click on it. And when you click on it, Notice that what happened is that you clicked on it, this popped up, and this toolbar on the left side also showed up. Okay, so let's go back here. You see that? If I don't want to see the mesh, so I just click on the geometry, okay, and click on the mesh. This was the geometry. This was the mesh. If you want to see the mesh, there you are. If you want to see the geometry, there you are. If you don't want to see either one of them, and I don't, that's what I'm doing here. Say uncheck, uncheck, and check this last one. Mine was already checked. That's why already got those. See, this is already this one is already checked, right? Oh, you click on it, these numbers pop up. Okay, it was not checked. I mean, the yellow one does not show you how many elements are on that edge, the seeding number on that edge. But when you click on it, the numbers show up. Okay, let's do that. Seeding, see that? So what I'm going to do, let's say that I want to change this thing to 10 so that there are 10 elements through the length. So that's what seeding means, okay? You click on that, this pops up. So here's what happened. Let me go back to the PowerPoint slides. See, when I clicked on this, when I clicked on that, click on that blue thing, this guy popped up, okay? So when you select one of these blue placeholders, this menu pops up. Let's do that. Pops up. And if you put the cursor here, it says edge distribution. So that's what seeding is referring to, means how many things do you, how many nodes do you want along that? So you click on it. Let's say I want 10 of them. Okay, let's say I want 10 of them. And that's what I had in the slide. 10 of them. You can make 5 if you want, there's no problem. And then the green check mark. So notice that right now there's a 1 there. When you get a check mark, this becomes 10. So there are 10 elements along that length. Now, obviously, if you want 10 through that length, then these also have to be changed. These other 4 have to be changed. So I go take the cursor to that one, this one. Again, you click on that. The same menu as before pops up, same number. Say OK. Do it on this. Click on that. 10. Obviously, it has to be consistent. You can't have 10 here, 5 there, okay, in this geometry. And 10 over there. So I change this thing to 10, 10, 10, and 10. So that's what this slide is showing you. I've done it 4 times. Repeat 4 times, and this is what's going to do. You're pretty much done. Exit and update. So we go back here. Here's the exit. And update, you can either do Control U or you can go to the standard and update. Either way, it doesn't matter. So what happens, notice that there's 10 along that. The rest are remaining the same because I did not change anything. Now, so let's go ahead and actually change the seeding along that line. Okay, so we go, let me show you where we're going. So let's go ahead and change some of these other things. For example, once again, you double click on the Partition Hex mesh, edit, edit. I don't want to see the geometry, and I don't want to see the elements. I want to see my seeding, current seeding. You click on it. Suppose I want 2 in this direction. Okay, so I select this, make it 2, 2, green check mark, and I repeat this thing 4 times. So you select this, seeding, same number as before. Select this, seeding or edge distribution, same number as before. And one more, this one, same number as before. Say check mark, exit, Control U or update. So notice that I have 2 in this direction. Let's double click on that. Let's double click on this. go back to the edit and take one of these, uncheck all of these, and go to the seeding. Let's take one of these and change it to, I don't know, maybe, sorry, uh, take one of these. Let me take this one. Actually, yeah, that one. Seeding. Let me make this thing 4 or 5. Now, it doesn't make sense because these 3 edges are 2. This one says 5. You say, okay. It changed that. You can see that. It changed this. And it also did the fooling around with these other guys. Okay? But still, it doesn't make sense. 2, 5. And it changed these seedings based on the number that I put in, exit, and update. You see, it's going to go crazy because that's really not the one I intended to do. That doesn't make sense. Double click on this, edit. Let's go to that number that I put 5 and change it to 2. I mean, obviously, it did things on its own in order to make the best out of it. But if my intention was to have 2, 2, 2, 2, then when I did 2, 5, 2, 2, obviously it says I can't do that. Let me go put this thing back where it was. So this thing, 2, 2. It's kind of hard to pick these things. I wish there was an easier way of doing it, but 2, that's already 2. Well, it changed those 2 also. All right, so exit and Control U, and there we are. Okay. All right, so let's go one more time. Double click on this, edit. I don't want to see the geometry. I don't want to see the mesh. I want to see my seeding numbers right there. And let's say I want this thing to be 5. Okay, so I click on that. I make this thing 5. And I have to repeat this thing with the same number. Green check mark. Select. Click on edge distribution. Check mark. See edge distribution. 5 check mark. Exit. Update. So 5 this way, 10 in the length direction, 2 in the height direction. And it doesn't matter what I put for element number here. For example, I can go and make it 1 millimeter, and say mesh. Nothing changed. Now, if you want a 1 millimeter mesh now, this is the best way of doing it. So I'm going to delete this. Okay, go back to meshing, partition hex mesh, 1 millimeter. This is the object, this is the support, and then say mesh, and there we are. Look, this is not rocket science, but these are, because they're so much different from what people may be used to in Abacus, that really I feel that there's a need for tutorials like this, video tutorials like that. Best of luck. There will be more about this business in the next few tutorials in the playlist which is under meshing. Good luck.